Hello, welcome back to IT Landy. This session it's continues to the previous log analysis, session where we spoke about, a high-level comparison between Splunk and ELK and why they are important nowadays, especially around cloud. So, for today, we will start with the second part, which will cover around how to install ELK Stack on Azure, what is it ELK, and then the architecture high level, and then deployment types, what we need from Azure environment, and then the entire stack installation. If we just do a quick overview about ELK, the component we mentioned, it's an open source from the previous sessions, and we highlighted earlier the benefit and disadvantages of ELK in comparison to Splunk. Now, however, if you are interested, please do go and watch either the previous video or just use Google or other source of like references to read the differences and why we are highlighting ELK and for your benefit and our benefit, we chosen to do ELK in addition to the Splunk sessions we covered before because it's an open source. So if you cannot afford to purchase Splunk, then please join us and let's we cover ELK. So uh, this is the agenda for this mini sort of like sessions, and we will do a hands-on. So what does that mean? Not only covering the high-level chit-chatting, but we will do the hands-on where required, and we will dive into Azure because all of these stuff, like when we talk about them, they are like for example like high-level. What is it? How you can use it? The prereq. But when you do it, it does involve more activities. Without further ado, let's we jump into the first part, which is what is ELK and how we can benefit from it, especially around the cloud. If you notice from the previous slide or previous bullet point, we spoke about integration with Azure, but you can do the same with AWS or GCP. Especially ELK is based on like nowadays, or it is based on Linux. Okay, so what is ELK? ELK Stack is a collection of three open source products, which are Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana. So we'll cover this in more details later on, but they are all deployed and managed and maintained by yourself. Okay, we call here the company Elastic. So whatever team, if you got monitoring teams, that will be their job, or it could be security team, depend, or it could be operations. I will leave this one for you. Now, we said ELK. E stands for Elasticsearch, and this is used for storing logs. L stands for Logstash, and this is used for both shipping as well as processing the logs. So first we store the logs, second I need to ship it and process it, and third I need to visualize it. That will be the Kibana, and it's a web interface which is hosted through Nginx or Apache. This is what we will be doing, and this is what we will expose it. Okay, through especially if you're going to do AWS or GCP. Okay, but you can, it's always possible to host it on different, either open source or any sort of like web tool, web interface tool. So we move to the next part, which is it's a bit like diving into the stack itself. So we said like the first is like sorry the Elastic is capturing logs, then L or Logstash for shipping and exposing. So let's have a look. So ELK is designed to allow, this is basically see if it's fit for purpose for you or not. So again, you can see the reference to all this information on a nice sort of website which I use to capture a lot of this information from, and it's called guru99.com. So all the basically credit to this beautiful website, and you can see there are nice tutorials there. So we said ELK is designed to allow users to take data from any source, This is important, and any format. So I don't care what source, whatever format you have, from different systems, especially on the cloud. I don't care. I just need to capture, then ship, and then analyze and expose. So ELK will allow me to read from any source, any format, and to search, analyze, and virtualize in real time. This is really important if you are familiar with all of the sort of like monitoring tools nowadays are available there. It's really important. I'm going to cover the performance, and I know most of them they do the exactly same. They search, they do all this. However, we need to cover the performance and design architecture. Now, ELK will provide centralized logging that can be useful when attempting to identify issues, problems with servers and applications. Also, it allows us to search through the logs in a single place. This is really important when it comes to design. We'll cover the centralized approach, part of the architecture, against multi-approach. Okay, what I mean by multi-approach is multi-deployment, multi-repos. Okay, it also helps us finding issues that might occur in multiple servers by connecting them all into a specific time frame. Again, you can see the link I was highlighting earlier if you want to read more and educate yourself around this in more deep dive covers. Now, let's we just cover the second part, which is that was just like a high level summary of what is it. Let's we cover how that will look like from architecture point of view. We mentioned earlier logs are being captured, analyzed, identified as a part of the elastic part, and then we said like we capture these logs, but I need to ship them. So I collect the logs, event data, parses, and then transform this data via the Logstash, and then I need to present it, and I use Kibana. So Kibana uses the Elasticsearch into DPs to explore, virtualize, and share. However, one more component is needed, or data collection is required, and it's called beats. This will sort of like led into renaming the ELK into Elastic Stack. So again, we'll cover these in more details, but let me show you how that will look like for us. That's sort of like the high level architecture. So I've got my logs, I'm using systems, it could be any systems sitting anywhere, and I need to expose that one into a process where I can analyze. So what I do here, I use my data processing through Logstash, and then I need a sort of like Elasticsearch, which is my storage, and I need to virtualize it, or sorry, visualize this information. So these are sort of like the architecture, if you want to, like we said, like a place where I can store data, store logs. I need to place where I can ship, and I need to present it. That's all what I had for you for today, a high level, and the next we will cover this in more details. And that was only the high level what is ELK stack and how they look like the architecture, I mean the three components. Next we'll cover the deployment, and then we will dive into Azure. Thank you for watching, and talk to you later.